You're probably wondering why I called you into my office. Well, let's just say there've been a few complaints about you from your fellow coworkers. The first being, you've been taking far too many personal calls in your cubicle. Everyone can hear your cell phone go off. The second, you're a bit too obnoxious with your typing and clicking. Unlike the female staff, you don't have the excuse of long nails. So there's really no excuse for obnoxiously typing, no matter how fast you can do it and how fast your fingers are. And number 3, it seems you've been listening to music quite a bit while you work, and while normally I don't have a problem with that, people have their own means for focus and concentration, it seems you play it at a volume that's a bit distracting to those around you, if that makes any sense. Now, don't worry, these aren't fireable offenses. I just wanted to issue you a bit of a heads up and ask you to tone it down a bit. That's all. Alright? Oh, come on, don't look at me that way. Sure, we've gone on a couple of dates, and it is weird that we're working together and I am several positions above you now, but that shouldn't change anything between us, should it? No, of course not. Though before you go, there is something else I feel the need to address. You've been spending an awful lot of time with my dear younger sister lately, Takara, and I'm a bit curious about that. Because you see, I kinda have it out for her. I have my reasons, which I may or may not choose to disclose, but let's just say I've been seeing her ex since he's been back in town, and it's been a world of fun, don't get me wrong. I mean, my posts on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter should give that away. It's been an absolute blast, but it isn't what I thought it'd be. I mean, personally, I thought it would make her insanely jealous. But it seems to me she's unfazed at all. In fact, she even liked some of the pictures. And she hasn't said a word to me about it. And I can't possibly have that. I can't have her happy for me. At least, not in that way. So I figured, who better to dish up some news on her than the person she's been spending quite a bit of time with, if you catch my drift. Don't worry. In exchange for this, I'll perhaps give you a raise, or just forget about the initial reason I had to call you into my office, those complaints. I'll just forget about them and let you do as you please. So spill it. Why have you been spending so much time with Takara? Oh, I see. I see. Oh. Oh, really now? You two... You two are a thing? You two are dating? Well, that explains all those personal calls and texts you've been getting lately. But why wouldn't she tell me? That seems so unlike her, 'cause she used to. Anytime something good happened, she'd call and tell me all about it. I can't possibly imagine why she wouldn't tell me something this good. So, how long have you two been going out? Really? That long, huh? And you've been friends for how long? And seeing each other in that way? Oh. Really now? So you've been seeing her and yet you went on those dates with me. How interesting. You seem to be a bit of a player. I must say, normally I'd be appalled, but given current circumstances, I kinda like that. So here's something I'd like to propose to you. Why don't you and I get together sometime? Maybe grab a couple of drinks? Get to know each other a bit better? Because if you really like Tiki, then you'd like me even more. Because I am so much more than her. I'm so much better than her. She's nothing compared to me. She lacks the life experience that I have, and my skills, and my status. I'm practically queen of the world now. I mean, look at me. One of the head members of my mother's company. Who would have thought? I mean, it's not fashion design and sales as I originally intended my life to be, but it's certainly not the nothing her life is. I mean, think about it. What kind of girl would you rather be with? A lowly waitress and car driver? And hell, I've heard she's been debating, stripping and camming. Ugh. How low can she possibly get? Or someone like me. Someone with status and influence. Just think about that for a moment. Think about all you could possibly have if you chose me over her. Or hell, don't break it up with her. Keep her happy and content, because I couldn't handle her so sad and messed up before. She was driving me crazy, to be completely honest with you. I couldn't handle her drama. So, stay with her and keep her content, but consider me too. Consider me and what we could be together. Just Think about it. Are you considering it? What do you mean, no? And, don't touch me. This is Prada I'm wearing. I don't need your grubby mitts all over it, especially if we're not, well, you know. But what do you mean no? Don't you know what you're losing by saying no to me? You think this is about my mother? Really? You think I'm just lashing out because she's gone and I have a bone to pick with my sister Takara? Oh, come on. You being with me wouldn't be that weird. Like you just said, it'd be weird to be with both of us, or to even be with me after being with her. We're not sisters after all. We're half-sisters. We have two completely different fathers. Of course, my dear daddy is no longer of this world. He passed away when I was very young, and then mother, clearly she moved on and met my current stepfather, who is Takara's father, and from my understanding, loved him so much more than she did my dad. And she loved Takara so much more than she ever loved me. She named Takara, after all, her precious jewel. Her precious jewel. She gave her a nice, meaningful name. A unique name. I was one of 5 Charlottes in my high school graduating class. Nothing unique. Nothing special about me. Mother didn't care. I never stood out to her. I was a top student. I aced all my extracurriculars. I did so much to impress her. I got a scholarship into the top school, the first school of my choice. I completed college. I got a master's degree. Of course, my stepdaddy's money and mother's money certainly helped pay for it, because unlike Takara, I wasn't too stubborn and prideful to ask for help, because after all, I didn't want the burden of loans when I could have been focusing on my studies. I mean, why work a job to pay for school when I could have internships instead and a leg up on the job market, you know? So you see, I worked so hard to impress that woman, to earn her love and respect. And what she did to me is simply unforgivable. The fact that she loved Takara more than me. Oh, what's my stepdaddy doing? Of course he's still sad. He's in Belize or Buenos Aires or Bangkok, someplace with a B name, drowning his sorrows, running his business from afar. I've been staying at the family home keeping an eye on things, all alone, with no company, except for a sweet cat that I briefly took in. I did get really lonely after a while, but none of that matters. This company, it wasn't willed to me, you know. I had to fight my way to get it. Oh. Given Tiki's struggles, why didn't I give her a job? Well, she's already working so hard. Why would she need another job? And besides, if she worked here, I know the board would simply love and adore her, just as Mother did. They'd give her the highest spot on the board, and all the control, and all the power. She'd be the queen of everything. She'd have it all. And I'd have the same nothing in this family that I always had. So, when they read Mother's will, there was a letter for Takara, and I'm telling you this in confidence, and this is being recorded. So if you tell anybody else, I'll have your life ruined. So keep your mouth shut, but I took that letter, and I read it. Mother left about 20% of the shares to my stepfather, which I understand. A little over 20% to the key shareholders, the board. And you know who she left all the rest to? Takara. Takara, who's never worked in such an industry a day in her life. Takara, who majored in something completely useless in college and then wondered why she couldn't find a real job after graduating. Not me, who's worked her own butt off since day one just to earn my mother's love and respect. So I took that letter and I tossed it in the fire so she'll never know what Mother truly left her. And I decided to approach the board, show them my resume, my credentials, and all the hard work I've done, and plus my legacy as my mother as Kasaka's daughter. Well, they were certainly impressed. So they took me on as the key shareholder and now your boss. So you see, for me, it all worked out in the end. I have pretty much everything I could possibly want, except for one thing. Someone to share all this bounty, all this glory with. Someone to make her green with envy. I thought he'd be the one, but she doesn't seem perplexed at all, or bemused, or any such sort. She doesn't seem to care. She must be too happy with you. So, if she saw me with you, outside of work, maybe she, I don't know, consider her life a bit more. Consider me a bit more. And think differently of me. And realize that I am so much better than she is. That I am everything she's not. And that I was always more deserving of Mother's love than she ever was. So if you're not going to be with me, I'm going to warn you now. If you want to stay in this company, if you want to stay working here, because I know Mother wanted you to have a higher position, and I'm willing to offer you that. Don't tell her what I told you, and don't mess with me, or I'll shoot you down and leave you with nothing. And I could even stage a little something, doctor a photo or two. After all, it just takes me tripping, going past your cubicle for it to look like something, and let her see that, to put ideas in her head, to make her reconsider being with you. So I'm warning you, stay out of my family's business. Stay out of my business. Don't tell her a single thing I've just told you. Keep her happy. Keep her content and distracted. And I'll give you everything you could possibly want. Oh, and before you go, please do reconsider my initial offer. Because I can really promise you the entire world. I really can. Okay? Alright. Well, have a productive rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Ta-ta.